Hi guys! So for the second grammar class, we will learn the difference between present continuous and present perfect continuous. So I'm living in Korea, as everybody expects. I'm living in Korea, that means right now I'm living in Korea. And present perfect continuous, we say I have been living in Korea for 10 years. So somebody may ask, what is the difference between I have lived and I have been living? The difference is that if you say I have lived in Korea for 10 years, that's the fact. I moved in Korea 10 years ago, I'm still living in Korea, so it's a fact. And if you say I have been living in Korea, that means it's strengthening your emotion, which is you like living in Korea or you don't like living in Korea. And also this is the case one. And for the second case, in the verbs, we have stative verbs and action verbs. So verbs like be, is, are, were, was, were, and exist, remain, those verbs are stative verbs. So we don't say I am remaining or I'm existing, right? So in these stative verbs, we don't use present perfect continuous. So we have action verbs. So we use I have been living, or I have been speaking, or I have been dancing for the action verbs. So those are the difference between continuous and present continuous. So this is a difference between perfect continuous and perfect simple. And for sure, we don't use I'm remaining in Korea. So for the stative verbs, we don't use present continuous either. And what's the difference between past continuous and past perfect continuous is that I was living in Korea. So for example, in 2015, I was living in Korea, and past perfect continuous is I had been living in Korea when my father, or yeah, we use this BTS, when BTS debuted. So I had been living in Korea when BTS debuted, and had been living, the difference between had been living and had lived is the same, right? Had lived is a fact, and had been living is strengthening your emotion, right? So during the conversation, we a lot of times you can see that people are using have been living, or have been speaking, or have been talking. People use past perfect continuous or present perfect continuous during the conversation because they want to strengthen their emotion. And also there's a difference between future continuous and future perfect continuous. If we say I will be studying English at 11 tomorrow, so at 11 tomorrow, right, at 11 o'clock, I will be in the library and I will be studying English, right? And if you say future perfect continuous, I will have been studying English for 2 hours, right? For 2 hours, by 11 tomorrow, right? That means I will start studying English at 9, and by 11 tomorrow, I will have been studying English for 2 hours, right? So that's the difference between future continuous and future perfect continuous. So from the next class, we will learn SAT grammar and ACT grammar. Thank you, and God bless you.